Okay, the previous recordings of the past 2 weeks will be available on my YouTube channel. You can search with my name, Dr. Ashwini Kamath. You'll find it there. Okay, the few more videos you can go through. I'll request people not to put anything on chat because I might not be able to handle it. Okay, so we start again from where we left off. So we went to the different kinds of pain. Now, what is chronic pain all about? Okay, so when you're experiencing pain, you have a certain fear and anxiety related to that pain. Okay, and that will cause it is because of a certain injury, maybe emotional, a hurt, a harm to your tissue, to your mind, to your soul. So there is a lot of fear and anxiety associated. So you're worried what is going to happen. I shouldn't be doing this. So you try and take rest. The more you rest, the more guarded your movement is, inactivity will set in and your muscles, tissues will become more tighter, less flexible. That will again cause weaker muscles, more anxiety, more pain, more stress. That will lead to anger because you are now angry that you are not able to function to your fullest. That will again make you sad. Okay, you will isolate yourself. There'll be more fatigue associated and more pain. This is called the pain cycle or the stress pain cycle. Now, this is how we become perfect in creating and holding on to pain. Okay. Now, what is it? I'll request people to go on mute, please. Thank you so much. Okay. So, what do we even mean when we say there is no pain, no gain? What are the benefits of experiencing pain? Most importantly, pain is about protection. Okay. There's someone who is not on mute. One second. I'll request everyone to go on mute, please. There's a lot of noise. Otherwise, I'll have to mute everyone. Okay, that's better. Some screeching noise, no? It becomes a little annoying. Okay. Again, started.
Ma'am, we are not hearing any disturbing sound.
There's a
It's
lot of
fine, your voice.
I can hear that.
Yeah, that screeching is
I
there.
can hear that screeching is there.
Yeah, I can also hear it.
Better for you to mute everyone and every 5-10 minutes unmute if there are questions.
Yes,
Yes, that is right.
Yeah.
I'll do that. It's still there. Okay. Don't understand.
The birds chirping, I think.
Ma'am, I think
Yes,
Gulshan
it is.
needs to mute.
It is birds chirping.
Yeah.
Gulshan needs to mute. I think वहाँ से आ रही है. Please mute Gulshan.
You have already muted.
Okay. Everyone on mute?
Please.
Okay, wonderful. ठीक है. Okay. So, what are the benefits? See, pain is all about protection. Pain is there because it wants to protect you from something that is either going to harm you or hurt you in any way. Okay. It's a warning that something is not okay, and you need to give your attention to what is not okay at that time. Okay. And because it is there for our protection, so we get an opportunity to learn, we get an opportunity to grow out of it, and we get an opportunity to even improve our skill set. Okay. So you might have thought, just go back in your own life and think to instances when you know that your pain has served you in tough times. Okay. It helps you build up your stamina most importantly, it allows you to survive through the difficult situation. Correct, no? See, pain, it it might save us from being either hurt or harmed, okay? But it is something that we cannot avoid, like how we told before also. It is something that you need to face. So if you are trying to avoid it, deny it, go away, run away from it, or you're trying to fight it, it is going to keep coming back in your life until you have the courage to face it. Pain is only a positive change. So many instances when there are times when people get to know that there's hardly any time left in their life and they start living their life to the fullest, right? So there was this one video I had seen on YouTube of a person who was given, I think, 3 months time to he was told that he's going to probably live for just 3 months, and he went out and he had a wonderful time. He enjoyed his life and he lived much longer. Okay, so pain can also bring about positive change. Pain tells us that we need help. Okay, so when you are in pain, it indicates that you do not isolate yourself. You need to expand your contacts. You need to get to know people. You need to be in the midst of people. Work as a team, whether it be physical pain or emotional pain. Okay, pain gives you clarity. Thoughts become very clear. Okay, so many times we understand more about our life because of difficult situations, right? No? Pain gives us wisdom, and wisdom is always knowledge which is experienced in your life. The knowledge that you use in your life turns into wisdom. Okay, and you always get it in retrospect. Whenever you look back on your life, you'll be able to connect those dots beautifully. You'll understand, okay, this is what I have learned from my pain, from my difficult situations. There is always a learning, there is always a lesson. Okay, so many times pain brings us together. See, pain, there is Brené Brown, who specializes in she has been almost 30-40 years of her life she has given to what is called vulnerability. Okay, she's given a lot of TED talks. I would suggest that you go and watch her TED talks, read her books. It's beautiful. So she says the more vulnerable we are, the more authentic we are. Okay, it's not our weakness. It helps us connect to people. It brings us together. It does not separate us. It is not a weakness. It is our strength. Okay, it is this vulnerability of me sharing a part of my life, of my pain, that makes you feel that I am just like you. You and me are the same. We are not different. And that binds us to another soul. Right? No?
What's the name?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what's the name of that TED talk?
Brené Brown.
Okay.
Brene, Brené Brown. Beautiful books she has written, and it's even her TED talks are wonderful. You can listen to them. Okay, so pain increases your patience level. It increases your threshold. It also improves your capacity to take on life. What if we were not able? There is a certain condition where a person doesn't experience pain at all. Physical pain I'm talking about, and these people do not survive long because they do not have that reflex to save themselves. They're not able to protect themselves at all. They're not able to survive. Okay, pain also gives you a very good appreciation for what is positive in your life. So it brings in gratitude. Okay, when you see that this is what is creating pain, you also see what is not painful in your life. So there is a lot of clarity which is brought about. Okay, and most importantly, when you are going through pain, most of them who are into volunteering or philanthropy or social service, or even for that matter, energy healing, healers, what brought them to this field? What do you think brought them to this field? What do you think brought me into this field? It is our capacity to handle our pain. It is this pain which makes us, try and help others who are in situations like us, right? So it is a whole new thing that you learn. Okay? It brings you closer to God also. Otherwise, if everything was jingalala in your life, would you even look up? You wouldn't, right? Would you even fold your hands in prayer? Nah, I am God myself. Aham brahmasmi karke aaram se baith jate. But this pain makes you realize that you are mortal, that you are, the faith comes in from this pain itself. Okay. Okay, so let's try and dig a little deeper now. I want all of you to take out your pens, your notebooks. I had mentioned earlier that this would be required. Okay, so all set, everyone ready? Okay, so first and foremost, just write down your area of pain. Okay, identify where is it that you're experiencing pain. This is very individual. It can differ from person to person. You may mention a physical pain, an emotional pain, a psychological pain, whatever it is. We're going to be working on pain today. So identify your area of pain. Next question. Since when do you experience this pain? Just write maybe your time frame. It'll help you. What brought it on? Okay. So probably there was a time when you experienced a certain event, a certain situation. Okay. And your body gave you the signal of pain as protection from that particular event escalating or getting worse. So what was it? What was the situation like? So we probably can just close your eyes for a second, take in a deep breath. When you breathe in deep, you exhale, maybe another 2 more deep breaths, and just go back and go to that situation where you experienced pain for the first time. See it in all technical. What was going on around you? Who was there with you? What did it feel like? What was happening? What were the words that were said? What were the smells around? What was the sight? What were you feeling on the inside? Did it taste like something? Was there any movement or vibration associated? Relive that particular memory and see what brought it on. What kind of pain is it? Okay. So we always have an adjective that describes our feelings. We always, our subconscious mind speaks in metaphors. So what was it? What is that adjective or a metaphor that you associate with this particular pain? Okay. Was it a sharp pain, shooting pain, dull pain, gnawing pain? What kind of pain was it? Identify that. What was the frequency of this pain? How frequently do you experience this? Is it all the time? Is it some particular time of the day? Okay. In the morning, in the night, or when you're having a fight, or I mean, whatever. So just try and identify when is it that you experience? What is the frequency? How frequently do you experience this? Once in a few days, every day, once in a while? What aggravates this pain? When does it get worse? There's always an emotional reason associated. So when does your pain aggravate? What helps you reduce this pain? If you do something, that pain will reduce. What is it? Is it you taking tablets? Is it you going to sleep? Is it you blowing off your lid? I mean, what is it that helps you release or reduce this pain? How debilitating is it? How much is it affecting your life now? This is your suffering. Okay. How badly does it affect your life? How long does this pain last? Few minutes, few seconds, few hours, few days, lifetime, whatever. Just write it down. What duration does this pain last? And then we go to the intensity of pain. Now here, most of them give you a pain scale of 0 to 10. I myself prefer to give you from -10 to +10. -10 being the worst possible. अब इससे ज़्यादा I cannot tolerate, to 0 being it doesn't affect me at all. I'm just fine, okay, the way I am. It's neutral. To +10 being that I am feeling wonderful. Okay, so let it be from -10 to +10. So we begin. Okay, wonderful. ठीक है. All ready? Okay. Now we have identified our pain. Let's try and find out that what was the emotion that I was feeling because of this pain. Okay. What emotion is associated with this pain? Do I feel angry that I have this pain? Am I frustrated I have this pain? Is there sadness? Is there fear? Is there guilt? What was going on? This is a part of EFT. Okay. The 4 sequential questions. Identify your pain. Is this pain even mine to carry? Okay. Where in my body am I feeling this pain the most? Describe this pain, adjective, the metaphor. Ask yourself, how was this pain serving me? This pain is there for protection. It's helping me, right? How is it helping me? What is the gift of this pain? Okay. Then map the intensity from -10 to +10. I'm just repeating so that you'll have an idea.
Ma'am, repeat point 3.
Pardon me?
Please repeat the point 3. Identify your pain, even mine to carry. What was the third one?
Where do I feel this in my body?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
And how do I describe this pain? What is a metaphor or adjective I'll use? And how is this pain serving me or helping me? Okay. Then you map your intensity of pain. And next you go to the phrase that we are going to use for EFT. Okay. So mostly it's going to be like, even though I've had this pain, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Or even though I've had this pain, I am learning to completely and deeply love and accept myself. Or I choose to love and accept myself, whatever it is. Okay. So shall we start? Okay, wonderful. So I want all of you to just close your eyes. All of you close your eyes. Place your right hand on your chest, right over your heart. Breathe deeply. A very natural, gentle, deep breath. Okay, a very natural rhythm. So inhale from your nostrils, exhale from your mouth. When you're exhaling, you can always visualize or imagine that you're blowing into those soap bubbles the children play with. So you can probably imagine or visualize that in your left hand, you have a bottle of soap bubbles. In your right hand, you have a straw. And you're blowing out through the straw. You dip it in that bottle of soap bubbles. And as you blow out, you see those bubbles escaping from the straw. Okay. Each inhale, feel your breath going in through your heart. Each exhale, physically feel your breath being released from your heart. Breathing in and breathing out. As you keep listening to my voice, feel the beat of your heart as your hand rests on it. Can you feel the heartbeat? So you're breathing in through your heart and you're breathing out through your heart. A very nice, comfortable breathing technique. Very comfortable, very rhythmic. Feel all that blood from different parts of your body reaching your heart, your lungs, getting purified, oxygenated, nourished. All those feelings of relaxation as you breathe in. Feel all that fresh, oxygenated blood rushing out from your heart, going out to various parts of your body, allowing them to relax, to get more calm. Feel your facial muscles, your shoulders, your chest, your abdomen, your hands, your legs, your back. All relax with each breath you take in and each breath that you exhale out. And as you exhale out any stress, any strain, any discomfort, any other feelings, any pain, you start feeling more calmer, more relaxed. So keep breathing in this comfortable, natural rhythm. Your heart and your mind now start beating in one sync. They start beating as one. And this feeling of relaxation travels all the way from the top of your head till the tip of your toes. Wonderful. So just allow yourself to slowly open your eyes and follow me as we tap, the sequence of EFT. Okay. So first is our karate chop point, which is also called the PR point. Okay. So this is the setup phrase. Even though I have had this pain in my, just say wherever in your mind, I choose to completely love and accept myself and how I'm feeling. Again, even though I've had this pain, which started off after whatever event happened in your life, I'm learning to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I've been struggling with this pain until now, I completely and deeply love, honor, and accept myself. So now we'll start with the EFT sequence, which starts with the top of the head. So if there is someone who wants to close your eyes and do the sequence, I'll just be mentioning what is the point that we're going to tap on. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can also watch me and do it. Okay. So top of the head, here I am in pain and it hurts. It hurts so much. Eyebrow, all this pain, all this shooting, stabbing, burning, throbbing, gnawing pain. Side of the eye, just mention if it is hard or soft. Is it heavy or light? Large or small? Is this pain colorful or dull? How does it vibrate? So just once you describe this pain, say, this pain that I'm feeling below the eye, in this part of my body, whichever part of your body you're feeling this pain, or even if it is your emotional pain, all this pain, which is having an intensity of the number that you have written below your nose, all this discomfort, it makes me feel sad, angry, frustrated, upset, whatever. Below your lips, I don't like it. I don't like being in pain. Collarbone, it disrupts my life. It stops me from feeling happy. Below your arm, the brow point, it blocks me from doing what I want to do. Why can't I just be free of all this pain? Top of the head. And this is just not about the pain. It's about how it makes me feel. Eyebrow, and I resent this pain so much. Side of the eye, it makes me feel so mad at times that I snap at people. Some days below the eye, I feel so depressed and sad. Below the nose, I just end up doing nothing and comforting myself in some way, and even that doesn't help me. Below your lip, but I choose to acknowledge this pain now. Collarbone, I'm open to being curious about this pain. Close your eyes. Take in a deep breath. Feel this painfully. Below your armpit, I'm open to being with this pain for a while. Top of your head, I'm open to letting whatever needs to come up, come up. Eyebrow. I'm open to letting whatever needs to come up from now on, not holding back. Corner of the eye, accepting myself fully, irrespective of what comes up. Below the eye, what if this pain is trying to communicate something to me? Below the nose, I would like to be open to that information which this pain is trying to give me. Below your lip, maybe there is something that I need to know. Collarbone, maybe there's something that I need to take care of. Armpit, maybe there's something that I have been trying to avoid all this while. Top of your head, maybe there is something from which I needed protection. Eyebrow, maybe there is some other pain that I don't want to feel. Corner of the eye, is this pain distracting me from any other bigger pain? Below the eye, is it trying to take my attention away from some other major issue? Below the nose, what if I could take care of what needs taking care of? Below your lip, feel all my emotions hidden by this physical pain, emotional pain. Collarbone, what if I could relax now? Below your armpit, some of this pain may be from stress, from tension, from worry. Top of your head, what if I could release this stress, this tension, this worry? Eyebrow, what if I can remember some days when I'm in less pain or pain free? Thinking now, closing my eyes, thinking about those days when I don't feel the pain in this intensity. Corner of your eye. And knowing that it's possible, some days I am in less pain or even am pain free. Taking a deep breath. Below your eye, I give my body and mind permission to release that stress, that tension, that worry, that emotion. Below your nose, releasing the tension, letting it go. Below your lip, just like those helium balloons. You know those helium balloons which fly into the sky as you untie them? It's just allowing these emotions, these feelings to fly away. I allow to release them. Collarbone, I let go of all anxieties, all worries, all tensions. Armpit, I let go of all my past mistakes, laziness, self-pity, guilt, judgments towards self, towards others. Top of the head, I let go of fear, jealousy, and my need to try to please everyone. Eyebrow, I let go of all anger, all resentment, all grudges, all hatred towards self and others. Corner of the eye, I let go of past hurts, relationships that are no longer serving me, all unfulfilled expectations towards self, towards others. Below the eye, I let go of things, people, events in my life, in my past, in my present, that I know I cannot change. Below the nose, I let go of my idea that I can control others, people, events, and even my surroundings all the time. I let go. Below the mouth, below the arm, collarbone, I let go, letting go. Armpit, letting go. Take a deep breath. Allowing myself to relax. Top of the head. I release any mental reasons for this pain. Eyebrow. I release all my emotional reasons for this pain. Corner of the eye. I release any physical reasons for this pain. Below the eye, as far back in my life as they go. Below the nose, I release the need for this particular pain in my life. Below your lip, I release the need for this pain. Collarbone, I'm willing to feel good from now on. I want to feel good. Armpit, I choose to feel good. Top of the head, maybe there have been people in my life who have hurt me, who might have wanted me to be in pain for some reason. Eyebrow, I let go of those people. I let go of those situations. I let go of the need for this pain. Corner of the eye, what if I could feel worthy of comfort? Below the eye, I'm letting any doubts about that go now. Below the nose, I'm willing to take care, the best care of myself as far as possible. Below your lip, feeling grateful that my body is able to heal itself in so many different ways. Collarbone, I am grateful that I took time to acknowledge this pain. Below your armpit, I feel grateful for all areas of my body which have no pain, the areas that feel strong, that feel vibrant and healthy. Top of your head, I now choose to feel as good as I possibly can. Eyebrow, I allow my body to relax. Corner of the eye, I'm relaxing into peace. Below the eye, I am relaxing into calmness. Below the nose, I am relaxing into love. Below your mouth, I choose to feel peace all through my body. Collarbone, I choose to feel good. Below your armpit, I choose to feel safe. Take in a gentle deep breath. Now just close your eyes and go back, focusing internally through your mind's eye on the region of pain that you had focused on until now. Okay. Now, as you focus on this region of pain, you can open your eyes. You got it, right? The area of pain. Now, the gamut point is this pointed V in between your little finger knuckle and your ring finger knuckle. So that V that you, when you touch it, you feel a V there, that point, na, tip. So this is called the gamut point. So just tapping on this 50 times. As you focus internally on that region of pain, be it emotional, physical, psychological, tapping on the gamut point 50 times. Now, tapping on your collarbone 5 times. And now we do the gamut series. So we had already done the gamut series earlier, right? So you start by tapping on your gamut point, and first, what will you do? Who's going to tell me? This is the third week. This is something that you need to practice every day. Okay. Practice makes you perfect.
Movement of eyes.
Yes. Yes. So first, what you will do is you will look as you keep tapping, and then you will close your eyes and tap. Then you will look to your left. You will not move your head. You will just look left and down. Keep tapping. back to center, look down and right, back to center. As you keep tapping, then you'll roll your eyes in one direction, back to center, keep tapping, roll your eyes in the other direction, back to center, keep tapping. And now we'll hum the tune, Happy Birthday. Okay. Now say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and backward count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again hum the tune Happy Birthday. And now just look from the floor to the ceiling, eye roll. And we are done with the gamut sequence. Okay. So all of you can open your eyes if you kept it closed. Welcome back. And I want all of you to now rate your intensity of pain. So from -10 to +10, you had done it earlier before we started with the sequence. Now I want you to take a few moments and rate this intensity again now. Write down the number that resonates with you now. Yes? Everyone has a number? Wonderful. You can put it in the chat box. Now I can see the chat box. Yes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. +5. Okay, awesome. +7. Was I a little fast? There's someone who said, please be a little slow. Okay, I'll be mindful of this next time. Please put your numbers, everyone. Wonderful, wonderful. -8 to -1. That's a good 90%. Half an hour में अगर 90% पेन कम और क्या बल्ले बल्ले. Yes. So anyone would like to...
Yeah, Dr. Ashwini.
Yes.
In fact, mine is actually, like from -4, it's gone to, it's become more. Like I had the shoulder pain and it's increased, I feel, -5 or -6.
So what is the emotion that you are associating with this pain? What do you feel? If you focus inwards, what is it that you're feeling about this pain?
The emotion. You mean to say,
Yes.
not the physical.
What is the emotion associated with this pain?
I can feel, kind of pressure, like burden.
Yes, yes. Shoulders always about responsibilities that we take on, responsibilities that are thrust on us by others. So there is going to be a lot of anger and frustration, a lot of helplessness, of hopelessness associated with this. So you need to tap on that. This is a secondary emotion that you are storing in your shoulders. So now that you know that this is your area of pain, you have diagnosed, okay? And from here, you can start with the treatment. Wonderful, right? So you need to unravel what is the emotion associated with this pain and tap on that particular emotion. So probably you can revisit that anger, what we had done earlier. So it is available on my YouTube. So you can just go back, revisit. If you type Dr. Ashwini Kamath, you'll find my channel. So go back there and do that sequence for anger. That will help you.
Thank you. We didn't do the little finger today, like no need.
That's
It's different for.
There are different, it's called algorithms or recipes. They're all different. And if you'll notice, I don't know how many of you noticed it, that we did the heart activation breathing at the start of the sequence today.
Yeah.
Whereas we, in the past 2 sessions, we had done it at the end of the EFT sequence. Now, what is the change?
In the heart activation, you have to keep your right hand on the heart, and then what did you say?
So we feel the breath going in through the heart and coming out through the heart.
Okay, so we don't need to keep the left hand on the right hand.
No,
Okay, just
you can keep both hands, you can keep one hand, whatever it is, just for you to feel that breath, you know, feel your beating of your heart. It's a process of gratitude. Okay. And it also syncs your mind and your heart. So you see, we have ECG for the heart and we have EEG for the brain. They have different brain waves and heart waves, you know, you can measure. So what happens is when you try breathing in, it goes in sync. And that doesn't happen very frequently unless you consciously do it. And because of that, there is always a war going on between your heart and your mind. There's always a discrepancy. So here we are trying to bring them in sync. So the more you are in sync, you will realize the more peaceful you are, the more calmer you are. And that is what we make use of in this sequence. Okay, so I want to just briefly tell you what is the reason that we did the breathing technique initially. When a person is in pain, the breathing is always shallow. So when you start with the breathing technique, it becomes easier. You will notice that immediately after your breathing, your heart activation breathing itself, a certain percentage of your pain goes down. Okay. So again, this goes to prove that pain is again perception. Okay. Anyone who would love to share their experience today in the session, please?
Yeah, Dr. Kamath, you're incredibly beautiful. You're just too good. You exude that calmness from within. It is something very deep and it stirs at a very deep level. Thank you so much for this wonderful process.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So anyone came with any specific pain? Okay, one point to note is in case you're going through chronic pain, you can alleviate to a certain extent, but if you're going through a heart attack or if you're going through some major, you know, tissue injury or something, please do not resort to EFT. It's not going to help you. Okay. So you will need medical intervention. And I hope it's understood.
I had a question. I felt very sleepy during the process, and then towards the end of the process, the sleepiness went off.
Yes. It is a very normal reaction of your body because probably it is very rarely that we tend to focus on our pain. We always are in denial mode. We always want to, you know, mask it in some way, any way possible. गोली खा लेंगे, कुछ ना कुछ कर लेंगे. Somehow we want to get rid of it, but we are not ready to acknowledge it in any way. Okay. So it's your mind trying to tell you, Baba, go to sleep because you don't want to be facing this. You need to tap on that. You need to be able to face it. Yawning, feeling sleepy, feeling lethargic. All of these are very normal reactions that our body does. As I told in the starting, even before we started, we are all avoidaholics. Want to avoid pain as far as possible. By hook or crook. We want to just run away from pain. We want to run towards pleasure.
Ashwini, can I speak?
Yes, please.
Yes, actually, like I am having an headache. I have observed this very recently that, like, 24/7, I'll be having this headache. So even just like, just after I wake up, I'll be observing my headache. And this I observed very recently, like might be 6 months ago. Today I realized that, like, it is there from last 2 years. And the reason behind this is like my anger and my helplessness, towards some situation happened 2-3 years before. So thank you so much for that. And it has reduced a bit, but it's still there. Like, it was like very rigid kind of a thing, like not letting go kind of thing I felt.
I'll give you a simple technique, Divya. Okay. So whenever you're reliving this particular memory or emotion, I want you to bring it in full technicolor. Okay. I want you to see it like a beautiful movie, big screen movie. Okay. I want you to watch this in your mind's eye. I want you to go through the entire sequence, and what I want you to do is, कभी देखे हैं नए कपड़े खरीदते हैं तो क्या होता है? You dip it in water and that water the color runs away.
Yes.
You've noticed it, right? So I
Yeah.
want you to just, bleed those colors away from that movie that you're seeing inside in your mind. Just let all those colors just bleed away. Let that memory become a black and white. Okay. So reduce, maybe you can just imagine that there is a knob which controls the volume. If you're an auditory person, sounds are going to be important for you. Okay. So you're going to be listening to the words of the people around you, what is going on around you. If you're a kinesthetic person, you will be feeling things. Okay.
Yes.
And if you're a visual person, you'll be seeing it in Technicolor. So I want you to just reduce the volume, bleed out the colors, and watch it as a third person.
Okay.
Just do this particular exercise with that memory and tap on it, and you will realize that you will go from a negative to a positive. One of the easiest ways that you can take away that energy which is stored in a memory. Because we take in stimulus through our panchendriyas, through our five senses. Okay. So when you alter the way you store that memory in your mind, automatically that power of that memory is gone. See, we all love to hold on bad memories. Okay. Another technique that I found very effective that I practice in my own life is whenever I'm feeling very angry with my daughter or, with some certain situation in my life, what I tend to do is I just close my eyes and I go back to that moment which was the happiest moment of my life. Say probably when I held my daughter in my hands or held my son in my hands, and I look at them. That moment when everything was so joyful, so blissful. Okay. So just give yourself one moment, maybe 1 minute of that. And then when you come back to that bad memory, you'll realize that power is gone. Gratitude is something, if you're able to experience, no other negative emotion can stay. Try it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ashwini.
Khulla challenge. Okay.
Hi, Ashwini.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, Ashwini. Yeah. Thank you so much for the session. So I had joined it with when you say think about a memory or think about an incident where you're holding the pain. So it was an emotional one, and it has been very extreme from last 1 year, and the exercise was really helpful. And like currently in the moment, I remember in the starting of the session, I'd put it as -10 the intensity, and now I don't feel anything, like nothing. It is completely gone. But why does it happen that after some days or some, even if we want to let go, and like this in this particular moment I've been able to let go of that, why does it happen that we again relive that memory? And sometimes we don't associate it with good or bad, but even holding on to that, what is the alternative, or what can we do to not associate a lot with that memory or with those incidents or with that person?
Yeah, see, what happens is a memory is a part of our past. It's a part of our life. Okay. It cannot not exist. Correct, no? It is a part of our life, part of who we are today. Okay. So when you start, what happens is when you're reliving a memory with the energy associated, then you tend to hold on, you tend to hold it in our body. Okay. So if you are able to change some aspect of that memory, like I just now gave you 2 or 3 techniques that I personally use in my life. So what if you are able to take away that energy from it? Or what if you are able to change it in some way, modify it in another way? Or if you are able to practice gratitude through, or even for that matter, there are so many times when I relive a part of my past memory, which has been painful to me. And I realize that has taught me something in life. It has given me a lesson that is really helpful to me today. The way you look at things, that perception changes. Okay, even when we do regression therapy, when we are doing PLR, inner child healing, all of these techniques are mainly about change of perception. जो तुम्हारा 6 है वो मेरा 9 है. Okay, the way you look at things changes. Okay, and once that energy no longer is held, when I spoke about the echo or the hologram, that part which holds on to that trauma, okay, when you're able to integrate it into your life, that part of you which was still holding on to the trauma is now a part of your present. You are no longer in the past. So you accept it as something that has happened in your life. Yes, this happened in my life, and I'm okay with it. It's a part of my identity. It's fine. This is what has happened in my life, but I'm not going to be living there now. I am here. Another thing that I frequently use with my clients during hypnosis is, see, we all live in a grid. We all are in a, you can call it like, you have a 3-dimensional grid that you're living in. If there is something that you have held on to from the past, even if you change the position of that particular stressor or that memory in your grid, it affects the energy of that particular memory. So there was a very simple thing that I had asked one of my clients to do. She said, I told her, what is your somatic memory? See, somatic memory is how we hold on to that particular memory in our body around us. Okay. There is an address, there is a memory. So when you're saying that you have a headache, that is where you're storing it. That is your somatic address for your memory. Okay. So you're holding it there. Okay. So where in your field or in your grid is it present? So you just, just like that, you can probably point to an area where it can be imaginary that you're feeling this particular memory, which is traumatic for you. See, supposing I point my finger here, this is where I feel it. Okay. Now this somatic address has an area where it is being projected. Now what if I change the position from here to, that also can change the memory associated. You just need to change, tweak it around. Even that helps. Okay. Anyone else who would?
Dr. Ashwini?
Thanks.
Yeah. This is Meena, and I do not have any physical pain, and I wanted to attend today's session for others, because we can do it for others, and many people in the family have some pain or whatever, so I thought of doing it. But when you mentioned that we can go and access emotional pain, so I had one issue which I thought I resolved, but then I picked it up. I didn't rate it high, it was just there, maybe some residual thing. But when I did the exercise, I cried and I could feel. And when you said, let go of the expectation or whatever the others have done, and the events has it, and I think that helped me clean up the stuff which was residual. It's no more in my strongly, it doesn't exist, but even whatever it was, and after that the overall sensation of the body was much lighter and calmer, and so thank you for that, and it was wonderful. Though I was expecting a physical pain session, I'm grateful that it includes everything else. Thank you so much.
Pains and wounds are not just physical.
Right. And we don't even access it. I mean, I was not even ready to access it or allow it or even acknowledge it.
Yes.
Although I expected others to, heal me. So, yeah, thank you.
I must say it is commendable that all of you who have been there today for this session have had the courage to sit through this. Okay. You all have that courage to face your pains. And it's commendable. Not many of us are open to even acknowledging that we have an issue, right?
Right.
You should pat your back, give yourself a pat on your back.
Thank you.
Dr. Ashwini?
Yes.
I have a question actually.
Yes.
That tapping thing on eyes and around
your voice is muffled. It's very muffled.
Okay. Hello, now? Is it fine now?
Better, slightly better. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, the tapping thing on the eyes corner, around the corner of the eyes. That can be done on both the sides or only one side?
Okay, so this is something that we had discussed in the previous EFT sessions also. You can tap with 2 fingers, you can tap with 3 fingers, you can tap with your knuckles, you can tap with one hand, you can tap with 2 hands, you can tap from this side to that side to this side. You can
Okay.
so not tap also. You can just tap on the field. You can do a surrogate tapping. There are a lot of things. See, energy EFT probably is something that we'll do towards the end of these sessions. We will do one session of
Okay.
energy EFT also. So
Okay.
you're just tapping on the fields, on the meridians. You don't have to literally bang yourself. Hit nahi
Okay.
karna. Not required. Okay.
Okay.
It can be a light touch. In fact, it
Okay.
is proven that you don't even have to touch yourself.
Okay.
Do it on the field.
Okay. Then one more thing I wanted to ask. Usually, when we listen to these self-healing techniques and all, before also I have been attending this. One while tapping, you started with like, even though I have this pain, even though I have been suffering this, but they say usually, like not to use that negative kind of a word. So how it is explained here? I just wanted to know. Like they say that it's like I'm fine. They tell to use the positive words always. But here we started with like, even though I have pain, even though I'm suffering, even though I've gone through this. So how it is like you want to explain this here?
It's a
Actually, I am
wonderful
also
question.
dentist.
It's a
Ashwini.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Very
I'm myself Mahadevi actually, Dr. Mahadevi. I'm dentist.
where are you based?
I'm in Bagalkot.
Acha, wonderful. I'm in
Yeah.
Bangalore. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the wonderful question that you asked. See,
Okay.
any form of therapy usually is with an intention of trying to resolve our whatever problems that we have by trying to change it, right?
Okay.
We always try to change the particular emotion or the energy associated. But here is one therapy where you start by accepting what you are going through, right? By accepting your own emotions. How wonderful can it be? Because until and unless you accept the place where you
Yeah.
are in, you cannot hope for change. What if you're not okay with where you are in life? How can you even plan to change it?
Right.
This is where I am and this is where I want to go to works better, right? Than saying I want to be there without accepting where you are, what you're going through, your own experience. So here is self-acceptance to the hilt. Okay, the first sentence, even though I have this problem, because that is where all of us struggle, When I started with EFT, I could not say the sentence, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I cried. I had tears in my eyes.
Okay.
How many of us struggle with this? All of us do, right?
Yes.
So here
Okay.
is one therapy where you accept yourself and then work on what else needs to be accepted. You're not trying to push that emotion or that feeling or the trauma under the carpet. One small thing I would like to add. Wounds, physical wounds. See, I'm a dentist. I'm going to be talking in terms of wounds and trauma. Okay. So if it is a physical trauma, हम लोग क्या करते हैं? You want to leave it open or you want to bandage it and keep it covered and keep changing dressings, which heals faster, an open wound or a closed wound? You tell me. Okay, an open wound always heals faster than a closed wound. Even emotional wounds work that way. If you're able to be vulnerable, if you're ready to face, you're ready to accept that you have had this particular wound, you're ready to open it out, air it, it is going to heal. And we usually worry about the scar, right? I just want to give you another perception, slightly different perspective. The scar tissue is the strongest tissue in our body. What does that tell you? That you have survived through that trauma.
Heal.
You have survived that injury. Normal tissue and scar tissue, if you compare, your scar tissue is always stronger. Correct, no? Change your perspective.
Applies to even emotional scars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The body is a manifestation of what is going on inside us. That is how we manifest. Okay. Just like the computer has a screen which shows what is going on inside, this body is how we manifest stuff.
Dr. Ashwini, can we teach this to children?
Pardon me?
Can we teach this to children?
Please. Actually, I was thinking that probably in April, we can have one session just for the kids, teenagers, 8 years and above. So you can always share the link with your kids and we can have a session for the kids only.
Yes.
It's a wonderful way. Yeah.
I have few more questions. Can I connect with you later?
Definitely. My number is there in the chat. So in the group, it is there. You can always reach me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Anyone else would love to share?
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, thank you very much for this lovely session and hello from London. It's very, very early here, so, but really I'm enjoying every week. So, and also I would like to say thank you to all the participants because we're all sharing the same space and experiences. So lovely to be here with you all. Just one thing about, actually, I'm adding to the previous speaker about children. So I have 2 children and I can see the pain threshold is so different in both of them. And for one, he's always quite more sensitive to pain, whereas the other one can, he's falling down and he's not crying, he's not into that. But because with the first one, I think there is much of a surrogate pain, which he has experienced from his parents. If I want to do tapping on him, how, can I do it? Because he's not asking me to do it. Do you understand what I mean? It's not his choice to get rid of that pain because I want to get rid of that pain. Do you understand what I mean? Yes. Can I still do it? Or should I wait for him to be a bit older?
Okay.
And for him to ask me to do that?
Yes, Inga, here is one point that I would like to mention. If there is any kind of an emotional pain or trauma that you do not want to let go of, okay? See, because that has become our identity. It is something that I hold close to my heart. I do not want to let go of it because it is serving me in some way. If I let go of this, it's going to be difficult for me to handle my life. Okay? Pain is always for protection, right? So if this is the case, then that person needs to understand and reach that space where he is able to let go. He's ready to acknowledge that this is this issue I have and I want to let go of it.
Yeah.
You can tap on yourself, your reaction to his perception of pain in this issue. But if a person is resistant, okay, then that person will have to tap on his resistance.
Yeah.
You start with the resistance. You don't start with the pain then. Even though I feel this resistance to let go of this particular emotion of pain or whatever it is, I still completely and deeply accept myself. Start with the first point. So you're working on resistance, wonderful. Resistance is always there for a purpose. It is always there to save you from something which is not okay for you to face. So work with the resistance first. Then go to the pain.
Yeah.
Pain is again, it's like you peel layers of the onion. Na? There are so many deeper layers. That is what makes us all so very unique. So very special. Hana? So start working on the resistance first and then go towards the pain. This is my suggestion.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Any other person would love to add or ask any query, any doubts?
Doctor, I have a question. I'm
This would-
Anju here.
Yes, Anju.
So while we after the tapping, I automatically went off to sleep and I just woke up. So what would that indicate?
That you are extremely relaxed. It was a wonderful feeling for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
This happens even when we are doing hypnotherapy or regression therapy at times when people are high anxiety people, no? When they have not been able to let go for so long and suddenly it's like, it's a relief. Oh my God, this feels so wonderful. And you let go. So it's good. I think you need to practice on this again. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Juhi.
Yeah, ma'am. Love listening to you.
Yes.
Ma'am, first, I complete नहीं कर पाई because I was working at home. But I want to connect again and again.
You're not very clear. I would request you to speak again, please. Speak slowly. हेलो
सुनना चाहती हूँ हेलो
यस
यस मैम मैं इसको दोबारा सेशन को सुनना चाहती हूँ लाइक मैं थोड़ा सा सुन नहीं पाई बट जितना भी सुना मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा इवन मैंने EFT कोर्स भी पहले करा हुआ है तो आई नो अबाउट तो थोड़े से साइकोलॉजिकल और पेन इश्यूज हैं मुझे मैं इससे बाहर आना चाहती हूँ और स्ट्रॉन्ग बनना चाहती हूँ
Definitely. It's wonderful. You can always access on my YouTube channel. आज थोड़ा सा recording रह गया. I actually forgot to start recording initially. So I think we started 10 minutes into the session. I'm not very sure. So whatever is there, then probably you'll be able to find it on my YouTube channel. You can always access. And Hitesh is planning to.
What's the name?
मेरे नाम से आप ढूंढ लीजिएगा मिल
What's the
जाएगा
name of him?
डॉक्टर अश्विनी कामत के
Okay,
नाम
ma'am.
से ही मिलेगा आपको एंड
Okay, ma'am.
Hitesh of Joining Hands is planning to get the sequences in short videos of say 20 minutes or so. So वो अभी we'll start in April. So you will be able to access that also on Joining Hands. So you can you can either access it through Joining Hands, those short videos क्योंकि इसमें तो explanation भी आएगा. So otherwise you can always access on my YouTube channel.
Thank you so much. God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you for being here.
Dr. Ashwini, just one quick question. Like we have, like if we have different issues, you know, physical or emotional, then we have to work on one at a time, right? Like till it, you know, heals.
Prioritize. See,
Okay.
when I spoke about pain and suffering, okay, this is something that I do with every client who comes in for therapy. So first, intensity of pain. Make a chart, put intensity of pain, okay? Issues, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Whatever issues are there, write your pain level. Next column may put in your suffering, intensity of suffering, okay? Before the session, alag column hai. After the session, alag column rahega. And now when you're seeing the pain and the suffering level, always prioritize your suffering. So prioritize. So if there is a suffering point which is at 10, that is the first thing that you need to deal with. There is something which is at a 4 or a 5, that is something that probably you will be able to deal on your own when you have been able to handle. Another thing I've noticed is when you have listed out what are your issues and you have done your pain scale and your suffering intensity, if you prioritize and do your 9 and 10s, 8, 9 and 10s, automatically your 7, 6, 5, 4s
are taken care of. Yeah, that's right. So like simultaneously, if suppose you have one physical pain and some emotional pain, and you don't know whether they're connected or not, but you can't work on them together. Like, okay, you have to just take one at a time.
You have to prioritize.
Okay.
Life is all about
Uh,
choices and priorities.
Yes,
Hi,
definitely.
hello, Ashwini, Diksha here again. I have one question on the same. So, isn't pain and suffering the same thing, or if not, how do we segregate that which goes where? I mean,
See,
the cause for that becomes one, right?
yes. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example. Okay. So I have a headache. Okay. I have a headache, which is my pain. Okay. But how I deal with this headache is my suffering. What am I going to do with this headache? Okay. Am I going to sulk and sleep all day through and get cranky at everyone else, shout at them, ask them to get lost, close the curtains? Now, this is my suffering. How is it affecting my life? Is my suffering. Pain to hai. But what do I do with this pain is my suffering. How is it affecting my life is my suffering.
Understandable. Yeah. Thanks.
Suffering is always more than the pain.
It said that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
Absolutely. I love this. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I guess once the
So can we say this way that suffering is our action? I mean, how we choose to enact over that pain,
Yes.
towards that emotions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that aggravates the pain. They're
So
interrelated.
can we say that if the suffering is taken care, automatically the pain will also come down?
No. No. The pain might not come down, but the
Okay.
suffering will definitely come down.
Okay. So then again you have to separately act for pain.
See,
So
pain, you might have a pain which is at a 9 or a 10. Okay. Your suffering may be at a 20. I'm just wildly telling you.
Yeah.
Your
Okay.
suffering may come back to 10. And that is at a space where you're able to accept and deal with it.
Okay.
Okay. Your pain may not go away. Because pain is usually what I have seen. See, I'm a regression therapist. Pain is something that we have chosen. Those are our main lessons. And it is there for a purpose. When I'm talking about pain, I'm talking about those major life upheavals that we experience in life, right? Those are also pain points. So if you have parents who are not loving, they have neglected you, abandoned you. If you have children who are not loving, if you have a spouse who is abusive, all of these things are pain points, and they're here for a purpose. That's your pain. But how do you allow it to affect your life? That's your suffering.
That's okay.
True.
So,
Hello,
Dr.
doctor.
Ashwini,
I have
on
a-
the same note, so
I have a-
if we say that we are working on our suffering,
Yes.
and that is coming down, or our actions to deal with that pain, that is coming down. But is it good that we keep on it, don't detect that pain, even if it's there for a lesson?
Your
If
voice
we hold on to that,
your voice is getting broken.
is it better now?
Yes, yes.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Yes. So I was saying, so is it a good thing that even if we have healed, we still don't detach from pain, or we even if we don't associate that pain as good or bad in our life, but we don't detach from it, and how we practice it, that we keep it as a lesson, but we don't keep associating everything with that pain, or we don't keep it close to ourselves for the rest of our lives, or don't let that uh, choose our patterns of behaviors for the future scenarios.
That means you do not allow that pain to trigger you. You reach that space where those points do not trigger you anymore. Okay. So
Hello, Dr. Ashwin. Yeah,
Yes.
Suman here. So this was actually my first thing attending your this one. I got a link from somebody, but I it's really very soothing, and it is too good. I felt very happy, you know, and really when I was doing what you were directing, tears were just rolling out, like, you know, so I really felt so soothing. So I just request you, I have sent you in the chat also, I request you to add me in your group and let me know of your outcoming future sessions or future whatever you have, like, you know, these sort of sessions. So I will be very, very happy to join. And really, I'm very thankful to you for this. Really, I felt really very soothing, and I'm emotionally, no, I was just my tears were just rolling out, like, you know. So was it okay? Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. That is where the energy is stored.
okay.
Tears, when they flow freely, we should allow them to flow. There is release of energy which happens. And thank you so much for being a part of this today. And you can just join the chat group. The link will be shared. And
I don't have the link group, you know.
I'll just
so through.
I'll share it here. I'll share it right now.
Okay, please. Thank you so much.
And I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, I'm joining you from Malaysia.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'll just share the link here.
Yeah. I'll be in the group, no? So that I will know your future upcomings and all.
We meet every Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Okay, but the link and all I should know, no? Because if you're in the group, you will know the whole.
I just shared it in the chat box. You can just access it. I just shared it in the chat box.
Oh, that's a YouTube, huh?
I'll share it with everyone. 1 second. Here. Found it?
Yeah, found it.
Okay.
Yeah, found it. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure. Anyone found today's session too fast or confusing or, I mean, overwhelming or something?
No, it was very simple and, you know, like very helpful, practical. One thing, just again, related to someone's question, if we want to do it for someone, like, you know, and the other person, the family member, doesn't believe in this or, you know, is resisting to doing himself, then can you do for the other person in spite of the other person, you know, not being willing?
I'll ask you a question. Okay. You have kids, no? Okay.
I want to do for my son.
I wanted to ask you a question. How many kids do you have? How old are they? One. How old?
He's adult.
Okay. So are you a religious person? Do you pray?
I'm more of spiritual.
Okay. So when you fold your hands in prayer, okay, do you include the other person in your prayers? Do you include your kids in your prayer?
Every time.
So do you think it is going to help them in any way?
Of course. Blessings by the parent definitely helps.
Same formula.
Okay, so beautiful. So beautiful. Wonderful analogy. Thank you.
So it is you sending energy to the other person. Okay. If the person has a resistance, you can still keep sending the energy until that resistance wears off. Okay. But it is up to the other person to receive it or not. It's just like energy healing. You sending your energy across.
Yeah, that's the only thing left to do when we can't do anything else. So I'm grateful to you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
I'm Saroj Kapoor from USA.
I'm
also a therapist. And my hello.
Hanji.
So my niece's child was say 7, 8, 9-year-old with Down syndrome. Okay. And her elder sister and other children would play together. And this girl wouldn't let them. I asked the older girl to just tap on the karate chop area. Say nothing, just tap for her. And I tell you, that girl would calm down.
Yes.
And allow them to play. This was going on for quite some time. So there's no need of permission or not permission, what I'm trying to say. It's my experience. We use it anywhere without words. It helps. That's not, we have to do this, that. It's the intent which matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Last time only I had told, it's the aiming which matters.
Yeah.
What you're aiming at. That is
Yeah.
all that matters. In fact,
Yeah.
there are times when you're outside and you're feeling a little overwhelmed and you can't be doing this. People are going to think you've become a monkey. So
yeah. Yeah.
Perfectly all right. It gives you that buffer period of 60 to 90 seconds. That is when your emotions get overwhelming and you at least physiologically change. You know, that change in physiology also will change your
Yeah. It was a nice talk. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much
Thank
for sharing this. Means a lot.
Thank you.
Also, it's a belief system, right? Which matters a lot.
Yes.
Before we start, so as you said now, so we should have first the belief thing.
Yes, absolutely right. Oh my God, we have crossed limits and people are still.
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much.
So we wind up for today.
Yeah.
Any no, probably last views or anything at all that anyone would like to share? Who would want to go last? And we can manage.
No. I also want to leave now.
Anju. So we wind up. Okay. So
Thank you so much. It was so beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. For your
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Dr. Ashwini.
Thank you so much. So
Thank you very much. It was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. So next week, what should the topic be? What would all of you want to focus on? We have done anger, we have done fear, we have done anxiety, we have done pain.
Sadness.
On guilt, sadness. Please have a
hurt. Hurt.
Hurt is again pain. There's a difference between hurt and harm, right? Both come under the category of pain. You can tap on.
Can it be self-esteem?
Oh, wonderful. We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
It's a universal,
And,
you know.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Please do put in your ideas in the chat box. Okay, not here, in the WhatsApp chat. So if there is something that you would want to focus on, we'll take a poll and see if majority wins. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Have a nice week. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your weekend, all of you. Bye.
You too.